Hey, hey,
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
what is happening? You are what's that you have behind you?
Those are the Wasatch Mountains, the Wasatch Front in Utah, Sandy, Utah. That's my
Wow.
mother-in-law. Basically, her backyard. That's the view she has. I took that picture probably about maybe an hour ago, 45 minutes to an hour ago, something like that. It
Oh
wasn't very long.
man.
So that's what we call the golden hour in Utah.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Wow. Wow.
How are you doing?
Everybody, it seems like the now 1-year-old pup wants to make his voice heard. So if
Well,
he's carrying on, I apologize for that. And there's no one at home, so the wife is actually over at there's something that all the girls are doing for my daughter's wedding. So something with decorations that all the girls are going through. So she's there, and the daughter, of course, is over there. So the pup wants me to play. It's just not
well,
time to play right now. So
well, I hope. Listen, if there's any weird feedback, I'm trying a different setup here. I've got my DJI mic on. I use to do my videos. I don't have all my studio stuff, so if there's any problems, just put it in the comments. Hope you can hear me okay. It's a little bit of a different deal here. So, and this is a background here, a virtual background. Got a light right above my head. That's why my bald head is shining. I wish I had my hat. The Yappy asked where the hat is. Well, the hat got left home, so I'm a little bit. I mean,
it's
I feel like I need to cover it. Can I cover it like this?
that's the best that your head has looked, Bruce, in almost 2 years.
Well, I did use some turtle wax on it before we started here, so it shined. Goodness
She
gracious!
spruced it all up.
I'll do this. You can't see it.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Everybody, so tonight we'll probably keep it somewhat short. Just to we know it's the night before Thanksgiving, and I'm sure, folks probably have family over. There's those that are traveling. Greg is busy tonight, so he might have just a couple minutes to pop in. We don't know. Um, but this will probably be just a shorter one, and we at least wanted to pop on just to say some thanks and things like that. But we didn't want to just cancel on anybody. So, but that is that. And here we go. What's Yappy saying now? Bama loses to Auburn this weekend. It's all Bruce's fault.
Oh man, I didn't think about that. I should have gone and seen if I could find an Alabama hat somewhere around here and bought the
that's
darn thing.
that's hilarious.
I tell you what, if
Uh,
that happens, then it's just there is some. Then it's just not Alabama's year if that happens. Good grief, because
yeah,
Auburn's just Auburn.
yeah. I'll be glued. I tell you, there's some family events going on this Saturday, and I'm going to be glued to my phone the entire time because I think at noon Eastern on Saturday is the Ohio State Michigan game.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's just yeah. I'm gonna go participate in all the family stuff though. I mean, it's you got to do that. So last year
yeah.
we didn't get to just stuff was popping up and people sick and all this kind of stuff, and so this year definitely gonna partake in the festivities, but I will be watching my phone.
Well, in Alabama, you don't schedule stuff on football game days. I mean, Alabama Auburn.
Yeah,
If you schedule a wedding or something like on an Alabama Auburn day, you're going to have like three people there.
yeah,
You'll have like the preacher, the preacher and the two getting married, and that might be about it. And
right.
so that's just how serious it is down there in Alabama. But
Yeah,
anyway, yep. So
yeah, I know. It's
I
that.
know there's, I
Um,
know y'all take it serious up there, but it's man, it's crazy down in Alabama. I would stay
yeah.
down here, but I'm in Utah right now. But I'll be back in Alabama Monday, so pretty soon we're just here for a few days.
So if they lose, it could be one of two reasons why. I mean, number one, you're not in the state to root for them. Number two, you don't have your hat.
Yeah, well, I didn't even think about that, or I would have brought that thing with me. Darn it! Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, man, we got some folks in here. We got some faithful people in here. Some
I
people that
know.
are faithful to our stream team here, and we appreciate you guys being in here tonight. Pretty much most of the names I think I recognize, but I welcome you guys
Yeah.
aboard tonight to join us tonight and offer a little thanks just for the things we're grateful for. That's the main reason we
Yeah.
wanted to do a little something tonight, just for a few minutes and just check in with everybody.
That's all. Yeah. Yappy, and I know you called me, but buddy, I was setting up for all this stuff. So, and I know you got a premiere or something going on right now also. So, Yappy, he's two timing on his own channel.
Oh gosh, I didn't know I didn't notice. Oh well.
He probably looked and saw, oh, they're on at 8:30, so I'll sneak in at 8 o'clock, and then like
Changed it.
10 minutes till I changed it. So then he's probably calling me like, Brian, what are you doing? So, but
Yeah.
we are
Well,
we
let me
are
put it this
thankful
way.
for Yappy.
Let me tell you this: if you guys are on here and aren't live on Yappies, make sure you go watch it as soon as we're done here.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
vice versa. If you're on Yap, well, they won't hear this if they're on Yappies. If they see that, then watch this playback later or check into it when you get off of it. So
Yeah.
anyway, so Brian,
Well,
what's going on in your neck of the woods? Anything going on with the bees, or is it just pretty much status quo?
I got a video. Actually, I filmed a video when Sunday, and you could tell how motivated I am because the GoPro in my bag and all that sat in my car overnight Sunday, sat in the car all Monday, and I finally walked out Tuesday, and I thought, I might as well get my camera stuff out of the car. So, and it's just it's that time of year up here where everything's winding down. But I got everything. I got all the buckets off. Just it's that time of year where we're going to have. I think nights are going to be pretty much routinely dipping below freezing into the upper 20s and stuff now. So I wanted to make sure that I got all the buckets off. I didn't want to have any problems there. But I ended up finding, and people will see in the video. So I'm down to 13 colonies. I had a couple that I lost in November, and that's literally never happened. In the 7 years that I've been doing this, I've never lost a colony in November. And I've seen other people in Ohio post on boards and stuff that they've had absconds. And I'm just like, I did too, and like the one, I don't know if it was like I opened up the one and there was 200 bees in the bottom of it, and I'm like, what the, you know another one, same thing. The little nuke that I had set up, there was probably 200 bees in that thing. So it's like, just so odd this time of year. But I'm sitting at 13, but of my 13, I'll tell you, I've got three of them, I think it is, that are fairly weak, and I have no clue why. I mean, like a couple weeks ago, I put the Apivar and stuff in, everything's looking good, and now they're looking a little weak. And if it wasn't 30 degrees outside, I would go and I would probably push them down into one box, but it's like it's too cold to do that now. I'm not going to rip them apart.
Yeah.
So, but I've got, I got all my insulated inner covers on. Everybody will see in the video, and I built a nice shim on top of that with, some extra foam. And I probably am going to go, it's been about my routine to throw on my Hive Alive fondant just after Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend, is go and just get that feed on everything. But man, I tell you, everything is like, once I do that, it's pretty much just ride into the sunset then for this season, because it'll be just um, monitor that fondant, and if they need another one, put another fondant patty on. So we'll see. So
Well, that sounds great. Of course, I haven't done much with mine. We really haven't done any. I did do a OAV treatment on a couple of locations Saturday before we got out of there, and beyond that, mine are just gonna have to hold tight here for a little while. when I get back in town, I do plan on doing some, weight checks, probably doing some feeding and some, uh, some more OAV treatments. I'm going to probably treat them all. I've only been treating a couple of yards I was concerned about, but I'll probably just start treating them all. And just checking, it's right now that, in Alabama, it's unless you're trying to prepare for pollination, the main thing is just making sure they have weight. At least in my case, kind of like a Mike Berry approach. I want to just make sure they have plenty of weight, and, that they feel healthy that way, and that they're flying in and out. And don't really, I'll do a few hive inspections here or there if I think I need to, but for the most part, won't be doing a ton of that. Right now, I might tip a box forward here or there if I'm, on the pallets just to see what the bees look like, the population. I might pop a lid here or there, but going through them and doing a lot of inspections, I'll do a few here or there, maybe do a few videos. It does get warm enough in Alabama that that's not a horrible thing to do. In my area, you have some really nice warm days where you can break into them. So I may do a few videos, maybe in December, maybe a video or two, and just crack in and see what the bees look like in Alabama in December. But don't plan to do a whole lot with them except for just check for weight, treat for mites with OAV, and feed as needed. So
yeah,
Brian, I got an idea about tonight. We've had a couple of super stickers come in, and we appreciate those. But everyone on here, tonight the theme is gratitude. Obviously, not before Thanksgiving. We don't plan to stay on here long. Brian Yappy gave us a time limit. He said his video starts at I guess at the top of the hour. So we got about 45 minutes at most to be on here.
Oh, okay.
From now, and if we even stay on here that long. But I'd like to see everyone just if you got questions, definitely put some in there. But if you don't, if you want to make a comment, just put what you're grateful for down there in the comment section. It can be bee related, it can be anything else. Just let us know what you're thankful for. This is a time to celebrate gratitude, and I think most of us have a lot to be grateful for, even if times are difficult. We got a lot to be thankful for. If we're above ground, as some people say, if we're sucking air still, we got that to be thankful for. So, I think I want to discuss some things I'm grateful for tonight. But y'all put us what you're thankful for in the comment section. We'd love to see it.
This and we probably will only hit a couple questions tonight, but this question here: do the bees store the fondant? From what I have seen, I have not seen them store that Hive Life fondant. I've seen them
either.
I've seen them more go up and consume the fondant over the honey stores they have. That's why I like to get it on this early. Just some say it's like that emergency feed, but I like what we say a week or two ago. It's that insurance. So yeah,
I agree. I think it's mostly it's just a supplement. I don't think it's so much food that they store. I do think it has a lot of really good nutrition for them to help them, make it through and to get through difficult times, and to help them become more vibrant going into spring. But I don't believe that they actually store it. If they did, they would have to break it down, I think, and liquefy it probably to put it in the cells is what I think they would probably do. But yeah, I don't think they store it. I think it's more just something they consume. Man, look at JW Irwin there.
JW, thank you so much, man.
Thanks to everyone that's contributed tonight. That's awesome.
Jason, I'm grateful for the community of bee people who unconditionally strive to support each other. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, man. Why don't we try and pop as many of these gratitude things up here as we go? If you're right, stay on top of it. Peter Morris, thankful all his colonies are alive. Never been this strong. Keith, God has blessed me with helping keep my bees increasing and an abundance of honey. That I'm grateful for.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, Brian, what are some things you're thankful for, man?
I tell you, first and foremost, I mean, just family, health, here at the home. I mean, and I don't know whether I know she's not watching this because she's doing stuff with our daughter, but my wife, she puts up with me. She's put up with me for a lot of years, and I don't tell her as often how thankful I am for her, just for everything that she does. She's pretty much like the rock in this house. So, super thankful for her and my kids. Super thankful for them. Just all of the family too. And moving on from that, it's just the friends and everybody on here, it's just, you know, I can say every week on Wednesdays when we come in here, it's just a lot of you I've never met. But, you know, I am thankful for like that kind of internet friendship that we have, you know. Those on here like Rodney, you know, we text, we talk. Um, just super thankful for, you know, like Jason said, the beekeeping community in here. So, but it's just so much. And like, you know, like you said, you know, I woke up, I'm not below the grass. So, you know, you got to be thankful for that. And, you know, um, gosh, I mean, I could just keep going on and on and on, but, what are some things, you know, and Bruce, I'll say one thing here. You have a son there that, just achieved an amazing feat. I will say that.
Yeah, my son certainly did. His name is Austin, and he is a free spirit. He just likes to be doing his thing, and he decided a few years ago that he was gonna uh, hike the Appalachian Trail first of all, and he did that in 2018. He
Mhm.
right after he graduated from college, he said, "I'm going to do it." So he did, and then he hiked in 2021. He hiked the Continental Divide Trail, which is right basically from the, I think it's like Glacier National Park, maybe all the way
Mhm.
down to New Mexico. And that one's, I think, over 3,000 miles or something. It's some
Insane.
crazy amount of miles. And then he hiked this year. He just completed, I believe it was yesterday, I think, he completed the Pacific Crest Trail. And it's somewhere around 8,000 miles total that kid has hiked over the past few years. And he's done, in the middle of that, during COVID, he did the Colorado Trail, which is several hundred miles. And he spends a lot of his
It's
time,
amazing.
climbing faces of mountains. And so he's an elite outdoorsman. He's an elite hiker, and he's a good kid. His goal was to do it, I think, before he turned 30, and now he's 29, and so he made that
Wow.
goal. So that's a big deal, and setting him up for he certainly should know that there's nothing he can't achieve if he puts his mind to it after doing
Yeah.
it. And it's really
Wow.
helped him in a lot of ways. He's a physical specimen, and he's just a good kid.
Mhm.
His trail name is, I believe, is Scooter. So that's his trail name.
That is amazing. Wow.
Yeah, he's made a lot of friends, kind of like we've made a lot of friends through the beekeeping world. He's made a lot of
Mhm.
friends through his hiking adventures. He also uh, loves music festivals, and so he does a lot of that. He's got a lot of friends in that industry as well.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah, I'm grateful
Awesome.
for him. I'm grateful for my entire family. He's my oldest, and then I've got a couple of daughters that are married, and I've got three grandbabies today out here in Utah. One of my daughters lives out here still, and
Nice.
we got to spend some time with little Reed. He put on a show for us. We went out. My daughter rides horses. She's been a horse lover her whole life, and so he loves being around horses. And so we went down there this morning, and my daughter was riding horses. So we played with Reed there at the little stable, and then we went down to BYU and kind of ate lunch there. That's my alma mater.
Wow.
My daughter's about to graduate from there, and my youngest daughter Lily is with us, and she is actually in at Auburn right now, believe it or not, at school, which was a little tough, but it's been good to her. But I don't know if she's going to come back for graduate school. She may or may not. I'm not sure, but she
Mhm.
uh, is doing well. And but anyway, Emma took us on a little tour. We went in some buildings. A lot of the buildings have changed since I've been here, obviously, and so we've had a good day, and it's just good to be out here with family. Of course, my wife's family.
Mhm.
We're right now. I've got obviously I've got a virtual background on here, but I'm sitting down in the basement of my mother-in-law's house. My wife was raised in this house, and her dad was a great guy. He passed away a few years ago. But I'm just grateful for family, grateful
Mhm.
for, in the bee, when it comes to bees, I really tried a lot of different things throughout my life, just to kind of try to, um, I don't know, just tried a lot of things. But when I found bees, it's just been help. It's really helped me through the last few years of my life. And Greg always says it's the bees are the conduit to the people, and that is 100% true. This community of people, you and Greg and all the people in this thread right here on this chat, I see Cayman on here, so many people on here, Tennessee Kim, we can't name them all.
I know.
We got 86 people on here right now on the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For all things are grateful to. I mean, I think about a couple of events. I think about the when Greg and Mike Berry came over and Randy, Gervish came over to my place over here in Dothan, and we went out to eat. We messed with bees. We just had a great time. And then several of the viewers, Lisa, Grammy, and Ed, one and many others came, and we had dinner. We broke bread, as Greg likes to describe it. And then we had the creator conversions. We've had the conferences we've been to. Man, I wouldn't have known any of you guys if it weren't for these little bugs in the box. And I made so many friends and learned so much. And then the bees themselves are so therapeutic to me. They're just it's just a wonderful thing. And I'm just grateful for that. Probably more than anything else, I'm grateful, live in this country where we have the freedoms we still have. I'm grateful for the house I have to live in. I could go on, like you said, Greg, on and on and on. I've been really blessed to have had a really good situation growing up. I've got a wonderful wife. I mean, I couldn't have chosen better. She is just phenomenal. Got it right the first time. We've been married for 33 years and 4 wonderful children. And but the biggest thing I have to be grateful for right now is just the atonement of my Savior Jesus Christ and the Savior of the world and what He did for me and for all of us. Whether or not we choose to accept Him, He did it for us. And so that's what I'm most grateful for. And we're going to celebrate His birth here in a month or so in December. So, I mean, I could just go on and on. We all could. And but that's really what I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
To really, this YouTube community to be able to, it's just really given me something to work towards and just all the people that have reached out and been so complimentary, giving me so many great ideas and helped me fix some things I was doing wrong. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it's just so phenomenal. And so I appreciate.
Well said.
All you guys and Cayman. I see Cayman. I appreciate Cayman and all that Cayman's done. He and Laurel, and to really forward the beekeeping world. What about Bob Benny coming on here a few weeks back? And I mean, that's just phenomenal. And we had Steve. So many great guests we've had over the years. It's just been a great time.
Yeah. This has been an amazing journey. And I mean, you tell the story, and Jason, thank you for that. It just started out with you calling up Brian Carlton.
Oh yeah,
and
that's funny.
And I mean, here we are now, but that all kind of fell right in line with Cayman and Laurel getting the conferences going, and where we have this internet community and this internet friendship. What he did and Laurel did and everyone else that works works behind the scenes, they put on this conference where we could all go and shake hands and also, like Greg says, been able to break bread with a number of individuals. And that just, it's amazing having that. I wouldn't have pictured, personally, say 3 years ago, if you would have said, Brian, in 3 years, there's going to be these live streams where, you're going to routinely have over 100 plus people, and you're going to have, Yappy Bee Man, and you're going to have Cayman and just all these different people. And you're going to have Rodney checking up on you and, just all these people. I would have been like, yeah, you've probably been dipping into the moonshine a little bit or something, but it just all the community has just come together. And truthfully, I mean, thankful for everybody, every one of you, and I wouldn't be, and I've said it before, I wouldn't be where I'm sitting now as far as my beekeeping knowledge had it not been for many of you out there and Bruce and Greg and, so it's really helped me out in my journey. And it's kind of motivated me also to get into that University of Florida Master Beekeeper and, just want to learn and learn. But yeah, I mean, and I could go on and on and on also. but I won't, and we'll kind of keep this short. But yeah, it's just it's amazing, and if I don't think, and if he does pop in here, gonna make sure he doesn't talk forever. But definitely got to be thankful for that there, Mr. Burns. So
Oh man, no doubt. What a great
yeah,
friend he is, and
yeah,
I really look up to Greg. He's just got a wisdom about him that's
he does.
just next to second to none. And he's
Yeah,
just a combination of a just a hard worker, an entrepreneur that's just willing to get out there and get it done. But yet
hmm
he's just really good at what he does, and he really cares
yeah,
about people. I think people feel that if they really get to know him.
hmm
He yes, he is using. He does have a business. He's a commercial beekeeper. He obviously has his store, and he's in it to make money. But as he always says, if you treat people right, the bees are the conduit to the people. If you treat people right,
hmm
it's going to come back and be a positive thing for you. And I know Greg has done a lot of giving over the years. He's just of his time, his energy, just the fact that he drives around the country, and he's been to many people in this thread. He's been to visit them and
yeah,
see them. And he's just phenomenal, man. Greg is just awesome, and so as
yeah,
are you, Brian, and so many people in this thread. I mean, you really can't. Yeah, I mean, you just start recognizing people. You feel like you are gonna leave people out unless you just mention everyone that you know, which is
yeah.
impossible. There's no way to do that. But everyone in here has contributed in one way or another, whether it be
Yep.
watching the videos, even if you don't comment, whether it be just contributing in your own community with your own bees and helping other people out in their endeavors. There's so many ways to contribute, in this world, and beekeeping is just one of those. And
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
just think it's a phenomenal opportunity to get to know so many people, and it's just been great.
Yeah. Yep. So
So,
true.
well, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to have the health I have to be able to, continue on with this adventure as long as the Lord lets me do that. I plan to do it, as long as it feels,
Right.
as Greg says, as long as it's placed on my heart to do it. I plan to do it. I can't say if a year from now, if something else comes along and I feel guided to do that, I might do that. But for now, I think I'm in this for the long haul. That's what it feels like anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I could say the same thing. I mean, where I'm at now, um, truth be told, I mean, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have colonies that I could go over and even just look at. You
That's
know,
right.
there's
It,
there's times, I mean, like I still have that. It's those plastic yard chairs. I leave one out there. It's year round. It just sits out in the apiary, and there's times when I go over and I'm just visiting at my mom's, and I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going over there earlier in the day, and then we're going over to my in-laws later in the evening, and 100% guaranteed, right when we go over there, before I walk inside, I'm going to walk right out through my little honey house and just go sit there and see what I can see.
that's right. Oh yeah.
So,
Think about them all the time. It's pretty amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just an incredible opportunity just to, I just don't
Yeah.
even know it's hard to put into words, and everyone here understands that. Everyone's doing their own thing. They have their own goals, their own dreams, their own vision of what they want to become, not just with bees, but as in life in general. But it's kind of crazy, Brian, when you think about it. Brian Carlton a couple of years ago was he had a big YouTube channel going that grew up, to a certain point, and he was telling me you need to do live chats, you need to do this, you need to do
Yeah.
that. So that he's the one that planted the seed in my mind to do it. I did a couple that year in the spring just on my phone. I had no idea what I was doing, just using we weren't using StreamYard. I just used the YouTube platform to do
Mhm.
that. And didn't really. I think Brian was on there as administrator. A couple other people were, but really had no idea what I was doing. And I just kind of
He
talked,
is.
kind of tried to go, question answer, talk to people, and it actually had quite a few people came on there. My channel was much smaller then and everything, but it was kind of
Mhm.
fun. But I really didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. And he's like, "Hey, that Castle Hives guy, man, he's doing live streams all the time." He's like, "You should reach out to him." And I finally felt moved to do that. And around that same time, I'll be darned if Greg Burns, who I didn't really know who Greg Burns was, just out of the blue messaged me or called me or something, and asked if I'd be willing to do a podcast with him or a live stream with him, an interview with him at the conference. And so it all just happened right around that time. There must have been a reason for it. I don't think things happen. I'm sure some things happen by coincidence, but a lot of things don't.
Right.
Most things don't. I don't think there was any coincidence in this. There was something behind this. Call it what you want, but there was some divine intervention here. I believe it's phenomenal. And I just remember Brian at the Creator Convergence up in Ohio a couple months back, sitting around that campfire, man, and just breaking bread and
one of the best nights
and talking about life. And I honestly believe that you guys have become a couple of my best friends, and I've got I got a lot of friends, a lot of people I respect and appreciate, but you guys are right near the top of that list now. And 2 years ago, I wasn't even sure really who you were, so none of it would happen if not for the bees. And then this platform, my goodness, we're able to get on here and share this stuff with folks.
Right.
I'm thankful for YouTube and the opportunities it provides to us. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that probably maybe shouldn't be watched. I guess that's depending on who you are, but a lot of things out there that can create a lot of division and strife and problems. But I hope we're doing the opposite here. We're trying to bring people together and provide a opportunity for support and strength to help strengthen other people. And
right.
Not only becoming better beekeepers, but hopefully just providing a community. We talk about a community here to help motivate and encourage people is what this is all about, and help everybody become better beekeepers and better friends in the process. I think everybody on here probably for the most part are really good people, but maybe we can become better through this community and this organization that we have. And I do believe that, we had Steve on here last week about things like Hives for Heroes. I think beekeeping, it sounds a little corny maybe, but it's not. That beekeeping saves lives, really.
It does.
Some people can honestly, we talk about the therapeutic effect of it. It can really honestly, I believe that they really can have a tremendous positive impact on people.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think. No, I didn't sign up while we were in the stream, but after we had stopped, I submitted in, to be a mentor through Hives for Heroes. So I've been paired up with somebody. Haven't been able to get in touch with the person though. So hopefully it works out. But
yeah, it's a weird, busy time of year. I know that I had two that I was paired up with, and the first one I just wasn't sure how it worked. I never got in touch with them, and they never got in touch with me. But and the second one, I tried again, but the third one actually has worked out. So sometimes I think people, if they've signed up for the program, maybe say a year ago and haven't been paired up, they may have moved on to other things. But let's see, that's what isn't that amazing, John's story here? And I think that's so important for any type of first responder, military person, or anyone that's had a traumatic experience. There's just something about it, man. The sounds, the smells, Steve kind of described it last week. He talked about it. Just the beautiful thing that open a beehive, just those bees working there. Something about it, man. It's just an incredible part of being able to take a peek at nature.
Right.
That's really what you're doing. You're breaking into that beehive and you're just peeking in on something that, maybe it's just you're peeking in on a miracle, really.
Yeah.
Look at it, because there's no way that without that didn't just happen randomly.
Right.
There is something behind that, a beehive and all the things that happen and the beautiful things. It's just at so many levels we can't even understand.
Yeah.
What's going in there.
I tell people all the time, when they've never, when people hear you're a beekeeper, the questions just start, do you get stung? All this and that. And that's the typical questions, but then once they start asking, what's it like? And I just tell them, I'm like, you're looking at a very simple insect, so to say, yet they're very complex. And
absolutely,
when you start looking at everything that they do and everything that they're responsible for, it's truly amazing. And like you say, to honestly think that, well, they just happen to appear here and have such importance that just didn't happen, you know.
Yeah.
But it truly is amazing, and you know, everything that you can learn from them. Also, that's another thing that I'm thankful for, you know, because truthfully, I mean, every time I go out in the apiary, you know, you might think you have it all figured out, but they'll teach you something new all
Absolutely.
the time, you know. So yeah, they are just an amazing uh, bugs in a box, as Greg says, you know.
Yeah.
So
We've had some great comments in here. Yeah, one thing you mentioned, Brian, that whenever you're in a room, I saw that. Hey Bob, hey Yappy, just everybody. Hey, welcome into chat tonight. We're going to be on here just a few more minutes. We're not very long tonight. We know people are busy with their families. We don't want to take up their whole evening, but
yeah,
you know, you're in a room and the conversations are going on, and once people find out you're a beekeeper, it's like all the attention can turn to you. Sometimes that people just they're so curious about it. Most people, frankly, don't want to get in the bees, but most people are very intrigued by the
yeah,
bees because you hear a lot about them. You know, all the stuff. You know, in stores, there's always a bee section with little ornaments and crafty stuff, and there's just something about bees that people are very intrigued by and love, regardless of whether or not they want to actually get in the bees. And most people like honey, and there's just some. It's just crazy, honestly.
yeah.
I I think it was Jason from Bohemian Bees said the bees saved his life. I'm not sure. We need to ask him that story sometime. That'd be good to hear how that happened. But I think they really do. I know they certainly made me just gave me kind of a purpose, more of a. I mean, I've always had a purpose, but a little more of a purpose is something I could just grab onto
Yeah.
and really work towards. And you know, my initial thoughts were, hey, I'm going to have a couple of hives and just you know, I just got curious about them. I want to check them out. I've always been intrigued with nature, and honestly, I was kind of a weird kid that was intrigued with bugs growing up. I'm amazed I didn't get into them sooner. But for some reason, when I started, there was just a nudge to do it. I just felt
Hmm.
kind of inspired to do it.
Yeah.
And boy, I mean, literally that first day, you know, the first day I went into them, my buddy, I was going to pick up my bees. I decided to get them on a Monday or Tuesday, and Saturday I went out. I had a friend that had bees. Looked in the boxes. Of course, the first mistake I made was I saw a drone and thought that was the queen, and he had to tell me no, it's the queen is here. And we found the queen and went a few miles south of him and picked up my first 2 boxes of bees and set them on the hive stands and was already pretty addicted. But boy, when I popped them open and did the first inspection, my mentor was basically the guy that sold me the bees. My first mentor said, just kind of leave them alone for a week or two. So that was hard to do. But when I
I
got in
know.
and went through them that first time, that was it. I mean, that was it. I was hooked. And so,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, I just, from that point on, yeah, I made so many mistakes, really had no idea what I was doing the first couple of years at all. Everything was a learning experience, but hopefully starting to figure a little bit of it out. Now there's still, you know, it's like I've learned the tip of the iceberg still, I believe. I got so much to learn.
You
Yeah,
know,
Pat says here, I've watched Bruce grow in his bee venture, and it's been a pleasure to see him grow in success. Great job, sir. Well, Yappy was one of my very first. I've got a video I did way back, probably 2014. It's about the waggle dance of the honeybee. I had an open air colony that was hanging down from a limb. A guy called me about them, and if you see my Lake Patty Sue videos from the past, I don't have bees there anymore because they won't let me put them out there anymore. But this was the brother of the guy that owned Lake Patty Sue. Called me up and said, hey, he was about to do some clearing of land, and there was an open air hive hanging on a limb, beautiful hive. And so I actually went out there and filmed it, and I called Yappy, and he talked me through how to do that thing. And that's really where I think I got on the phone with him the first time and got to know him. And man, he's always been just such a great help and a
yeah.
supporter of me. If I'm down in the dumps, he'll pick me up and just he's just such a positive guy. But if you go back and watch that video from way back, it's just about the waggle dance. And, you know, on that open air hive, you can see everything because they're not in a hive. You know, you pull frames out and you see it occasionally, but it's not quite the same in an open air colony. That's just how they lived. And so you just watch them doing their thing. And it was about eye level. I mean, it was a low limb,
Wow.
just right there. You could just see it right there. And man, those bees are just in the waggle dance, just doing all their stuff. And that was one of the coolest adventures, just to sit there and watch them. And I did a little. It's like a minute or two long video. It's not very long. Little bees just doing a little figure 8 waggle dance. It was pretty cool. So anyway, well, we appreciate everyone checking in tonight. Brian, what do you think? You want to keep rolling, or we want to start turning?
Well,
what do you think?
We've got 17 minutes and 40 seconds, and then we've got to hop off so we can watch Yappy. Not that I'm watching the time or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, I mean, we can hop off here shortly, but you've got your time out visiting family, man, and even when you get home, I mean, I guess you probably won't have much to do with the bees, will you?
Not too much, not for a little while. We're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be checking the weight. Gonna be, I might throw some, maybe some probiotics on them, just a little food here or there. Hitting them with oxalic acid vapor, just kind of getting through. But I don't plan on doing a lot of deep inspections on them until, probably when the year, when January hits. If the weather's not too cold, it's pretty much game on then, because they really start building up in January here, because that red maple hits here in mid to late January, if not sooner sometimes.
It's amazing.
So even if you don't see a lot of, they'll starve, but there's just enough nectar, I guess, coming in and pollen to get them stimulated. And so you got to watch them really close. I'll probably be throwing some fondant in then and just really watch them close. My plans this coming year is to probably hit them with Formic Pro when it's still cool enough, maybe February. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, obviously the mite control. Number two, possibly it'll kind of pull them back a little bit so they're not so swarmy, because man, you literally start seeing swarms here in February and early March. You'll see a few in February.
That's insane.
Most of the time, historically for me, I'll usually see my first swarms typically the first week or so of March, but it's not very many. But by the end of March, man, they're in the trees everywhere if you're not careful. And that's when swarm calls really start rolling in. I've had a few in February in the past, calls that come in, but typically, late March and April, man, it's just game on with the swarms. And so maybe if I put the Formic Pro in, if I decide to do that, maybe that'll help slow them down a little bit. I don't know if it will or not. I do plan to do some splits, believe it or not. My goal is to get up to about 150. I'm going to try and do that. I'm already at 110, 120 right now. So I need to get some slots on pallets filled. Yappy says it's cold there today. I'm not missing anything. Well, it's chilly here. We're in the 20s, 30s at night and 40s here in Utah in the daytime here in Utah where I am now. So it's chilly, but it's, it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't seem to feel as cold here. I'm not sure why. Maybe I don't know if it's the moisture in the air or what, but it really, out in Utah, it's just, it was in I think probably mid 40s. I don't know if it hit 50 today, and it really wasn't bad. I wore a jacket, but it wasn't unbearable.
We have 50 in the next week. Tomorrow is 50, and that's a high. And then after that, our high is 42, and we're going to dip down next Monday. We've got 23.
Yeah.
So
that's about how it is, I think, out here in Utah right now. Very similar, but Alabama. Well, they say it's cold. They say it's really cold down there. I guess there was a storm system that came through yesterday, I think, and it must have. That's what happens down there. We'll have it this time of the year and through the winter. It'll be 60s and 70s, and then a big storm will come through and it'll knock it down in the 40s, 50s, and then but within a week or two, it's usually back up. So it's just a dang roller coaster. And so anyway,
we got a message from Mr. Burns.
Okay.
Please wish all of our viewers a happy and blessed Thanksgiving from all of us here at Nature's Image Farms. We appreciate you all so much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Greg, I think he was going to try and hop on. He just is not able to this evening. He's in a situation where he just can't make it. And so we kind of knew that ahead of time. We were hoping he could pop in for a couple of minutes, but he's not able to. He has something else going on. And I'm kind of surprised we have so many folks on here. I know everybody's got family around. We appreciate everyone being on here tonight.
Yeah. Carol has a great question. And I saw this question also on Acme. their page on Facebook. Somebody was talking about their new dual feeder, how it has that center part, but if you look at it, it's filled with bees. So probably what I'm going to do is tap it to knock them all down and pull it up and just slide the fondant right over that hole there. They'll come up into that section, um, but it's too small of an area to slip that fondant down in. But what I figure I can do is cut a pretty decent sized, rectangle out of the underside of that fondant and just slide it right over top of that, and they'll be able to go up and get to it. And then I probably am going to put Reflectix over top of that just to give a little bit of an R value above that, so that that's not like a weak spot as far as where insulation is. But that's probably what I'm going to do with my Apamaze. So I might have to do a video on it. I don't know. So
That sounds great. Yeah, it's
yeah.
that's a great question because I wondered the same thing. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'll leave the feeder in or if I'll pull the feeder out while I do that. I'm not sure.
I took my feeders off last year, and then I just put a piece of Reflectix over top of it. But I had a problem with moisture, and it seemed like it wasn't bad, but it seemed like literally about an inch of my frames on both sides, I was starting to get mold, and it wasn't in the center, but it was just on those edges. So we'll see how this winter does with those new feeders. I'm really curious how they'll do. But I think pulling that center plastic piece out, and there's enough room above there, from the cover that's on them, that I could put that fondant and just slide it right over. And, those jokers, they'll climb up and get to it. So,
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll be watching, be paying attention.
yeah,
I can say we don't have a lot of the same problems you do, but I can see how those Apamaze might. I think that they're designed with the feeders that helps with probably the ventilation of the hives and
right.
stuff. Pull those out, it might. I don't know. It might mess that up a little bit, Brian. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. And, like if you open up, you can take my, cover off of my Apamaze, and there's all them little slits clear around the entire feeder. Every single one of them is propolized shut.
Yeah, they propolize them. Yeah, they do that.
So the bees right there are telling you, well, we don't need that. So if you take the feeders off of there, I think where the issue is the lid that's on them, it's vented. So it was creating, it was letting cool air in on top of the Reflectix. I don't know. I think it was just messing with it too much, but we'll see. We'll see. So, but 10 minutes till. What do you say we cut
Start to
this
wrap
short?
it up.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I see. We just appreciate everyone coming in tonight on the night before Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Eve. I don't know, Brian. Maybe this will become a tradition. Maybe so. I don't know. I don't remember if we did it last year or not. We probably did. I can't remember, but I think it'll be great to discuss. Discuss what we're grateful for on Thanksgiving. Why not, right? Brian, what do you have coming up over the next week or so? Anything with your business, with your channel, with your
bee? The bees. So as far as just working the apiary, it looks like I'm going to be filming a video on my Apamaze, but I'll probably do that when I'm putting the fondant on all the other ones. And then I need to move the 2 colonies that I have at the farmer's property. I'm going to move them over to my main apiary. That way everything's just all in one spot. I just want it easy for the winter. Yeah, it's a little bit of a chore moving them, but to move 2 colonies it's not difficult at all. I'll keep everything there, and then in the spring I'll probably move some back out. But that's it for the bees. But other than like in the next week and a half, I've got 2 days coming up for markets that are going to be very busy. So I got a new banner that I can set up when I'm at markets. I got new cards done. I mean, I've got all kind of stuff. I got some new products on the website. I even redesigned the website. So I spent, gosh, good 6 or so hours. Shopify makes it pretty easy. They have some themes that you can use, but it's just getting everything in the layout kind of exactly how you want it. And I spent some time just to redo that. So been busy. Like, yeah, we can't get into the bees, but there's a lot of other things in beekeeping that you can do. When you're in the middle of it in the summertime, you can't have this time where you can sit on a computer and do this and get all these other tasks done. So that's more or less what I'm focusing on. And I've got for the markets coming up, I got some lip balms that I've done that have the seal of approval from my wife and daughter. And I started Brian, thank you. Um, yeah, look at Jason. Wait, did you 3D print that? Yes, I did, and it fits those cards perfect. Look at that. Look at that.
My
That's
goodness,
amazing.
man. You're just so creative, man. I need to do more of that. I need to hire you to be my marketing person and my, to do
So,
all that stuff for me. But
look at this? Are you selling those? Jason, we'll have to talk. So, but I've done a lot of stuff like that, and I'm hoping that the next markets that I do, I lucked out and got the very last spot at. They say it's the busiest day for that market all year. It's when they do the Christmas tree lighting in downtown Youngstown and all that. It's all kind of coordinated. They've got other like Christmas kind of festivities going on. So somebody backed out and I got the last spot. The guy messaged me and was like, I was talking to you. If you want that spot, you're the first one I thought of. It's yours. So I was like, yeah. So I'm hoping I sell a good portion of what honey I have left and just kind of wrap up the season there on a good note. And it's been good though. So this year's been good. Set aside from the bumps, this year's been good, and I've learned some things just about the markets and all that. So good stuff though. So
yeah, it's definitely been a learning year, I think, for all of us. Flower Street Farm Bees, it says here, I have to redo mine. I've seen talking about my website,
yeah,
slapped together to get it up and running, and now it's time to clean it up. I tell you, I am not a technology guru at all. But I do know that Shopify makes things easy. I'm not sure what their website
yeah.
is. But Rob from Lorob, he's helped me with it. He kind of consults a little bit on the side with that kind of stuff. So,
Do you- So do you want to know what I did? And for mine, if you look at the color of it, and I'll share it just for one quick second, and then we're going to get off of here. But if you look at the color, do you remember a chat that we had with Bob Benny on the color of his labels?
Okay.
And there were certain colors that
Stand
were,
out.
yep.
They're more likely to help people, to encourage people to buy more vibrant, so to speak.
So I've got everything set up like if you hover over, you get extra pictures and but yeah, so that was some work, but it was fun to do. So
Yeah.
but
It's, well, Yappy's thing's about to start here. I will say
no,
that, I appreciate everyone coming on. We're so grateful for all of you guys. I don't know what you guys think about what I've done the last couple of days. If you saw the Bob Benny live stream a couple of weeks ago, or whenever it was, several weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, that was such a information-filled video that I've actually started breaking out some of what I call my StreamTeam nuggets, and those will be going up. Several of those over the next few days. I'm not sure exactly how many. I've got 2 are up now. I'm going to drop another one maybe tomorrow, just a short one, a real short one. I'm not sure if I'm going to drop it tomorrow or Friday, but I plan to put 10 or 12 up on that. So be looking for some good short information from Bob Benny coming out from that chat. And so anyway, we're going to let Yappy get into his. He's about to go from here, if I understand properly, correctly, here in about 3 minutes. So Brian, we should hop off and just tell everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I don't have like that Greg,
Yeah, we're just gonna have to say happy Thanksgiving.
I can't go through and give a speech like what Mr. Burns does. So yeah, short and sweet. It's just everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy time with your family, enjoy time with friends, and just sit back and just think about what you're thankful for. So,
That's right.
Bruce, you have some safe travels, and we will talk soon, buddy.
All right. Y'all go over to the Yappy's
All right, man.
channel. See you later.